Good evening, it's Thursday the 22nd of May. We're reporting from the Nasser hospital in Gaza, as usual.
And we're on the balcony, which is safer than it was last night.
We very much hope there won't be a repeat of the noises off, but we discovered, or rather confirmed, this morning the reasons for them.
A colleague of ours told us that what was actually happening last night was the Palestinian police were trying to stop local looters from attacking the 90 lorries that were making their way into Gaza, and so that was what the gunfire was all about.
Which in fact is the reverse of what we hear, that Hamas is alleged to steal it and sell it on. Anyway, that was last night. We hope there won't be any more tonight. Today has been...
It's been a busy day, but we've spent quite a lot of it discussing bits and pieces with our colleagues. I've had an anaesthetist today, Nizar, who was telling me that he's evacuated on Tuesday of this week. So when we got that message that we were a couple of streets away from the red zone, he was actually living in the red zone, and he was one of the staff that had to go back to evacuate his family. And he's got a 2-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, an 8-year-old and a 13-year-old. And they managed to offload the 2-year-old into somebody's car, but the rest of the family had to walk 20 kilometres from where they lived in Khan Yunis to the east to Al-Mawasi, which is the humanitarian zone, which is now where they all are sleeping in a very small tent. And he was showing us photos of the kids walking along the streets with everything that they could carry, which wasn't very much from the sounds of it. They really only managed to take with them a few items of food and some sheets. And then he was talking to us about the fact that he's now worrying that they may have to go back to the house in a day or so because they haven't got enough food to keep them going, and there isn't anything to buy in Al-Mawasi.
It is an extraordinary thing to think about, the reality of lives for our colleagues. Imagine the walk with, he has 6 children, if you were paying attention and counting, as Rosie named their ages, and apart from the little one, they all just walked. And along the way, he says, people come out of their homes and offer the walkers water.
Yeah, I did say that, didn't he?
Water to drink. And then when they get to where they go, they have a patch of land, a patch of sand, 2 by 3 meters, and they put down their sheet, and the 8 of them just sleep on it. And then they try to build shelter.
But then you've been talking to your anaesthetist today.
Yes.
Who?
My poor anaesthetist is he's still rather deeply affected by 7 months in prison in Israel, when he was interrogated regularly and brutally, and he won't talk very much about it. Our scrub nurse today in theatre was in an Israeli prison for just over a year, and he was interrogated 2 to 3 times a month. He told us about it in detail, in a very straightforward, matter-of-fact way. When he was interrogated, he was beaten, and he was brought in front of a judge once. He was not told what the charge was. He was not offered a lawyer. He was just told that he was arrested because of security. So that is the lives of our colleagues.
But then we have had a very busy day today. We started at about 8:30 and we didn't finish till about 10 o'clock. And I think we've done 11 cases in my theatre by the end of close today. And some of them were pretty complex. We've patched up a chap's chin. We've had another kid with a big burn. We've got a couple of legs that aren't healing that we're lining up for some complex surgery later in the week. It's been a constant stream, and I've had some fantastic nurses working with me today, and I don't know how we've kept it going because they all look dead on their feet, and one of my nurses is another person that's had to evacuate on Tuesday and is sleeping in a tent.
I think it's been very similar in our theatre. Excuse me. We've done not quite as many cases. Thank you, Miss Rose. It's not all about number or quantity, you know.
WHO think it is, Mr. Greer.
All bureaucrats do. It's all about numbers. Actually, in spite of how horrible she is to me, I have to take my hat off to Rosie because our plastics group does some extraordinary things that wouldn't be possible if they weren't here. But they're here because you have supported us and sponsored us.
So thank you very much for all the money that you've been donating to us. It really does make a difference, and it means that we can get some more people out here. Thank you very much.
So thank you and good night.